Hello, hi there. Welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series, The Guiding Voice for a Better Future. This podcast is to help students and young professionals to shape their careers. Dear listeners, in every episode, we interact with industry experts, academicians, and many more seasoned coaches, gurus to drive some insightful conversations that will help our audience learn some great things. Also, we share an interesting trivia or fun fact around the IT world towards the end of every episode. Thank you for tuning in. This is Naveen and I'm with my co-host Sudhakar. Without sharpening your weapon, merely standing on the battlefield would not increase your chances of winning. Same is applicable for any professional. To succeed and have an enriching career, we need to continuously upskill and reskill ourselves. Do you think regular technology and soft skills are enough to succeed in this dynamic world? Let us get into a conversation to know more about transformation skills that are required for a successful career. And we are pleased to welcome Sheelan to our show today.
A leader, mentor, coach, and career management advisor, Dr. Sheelan Misra has a keen interest in developing people in the areas of leadership, personal and corporate branding, along with entrepreneurship. She is leading the Department of Management Studies at New Horizon College of Engineering, Bangalore. Dr. Sheelan is one of the few master trainers across India recognized by the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. She is also associated with the National Entrepreneurship Network as an advisor and mentoring budding entrepreneurs. A Bachelor of Science from University of Delhi, Master of Business Administration from Guru Jambheshwar University, Haryana, Dr. Sheelan holds her doctorate degree from Jamia Millia Islamia, a central university in New Delhi in the area of international marketing. Dr. Sheelan has been a topper of her MBA program and has been awarded a gold medal by the Governor of Haryana. Dr. Sheelan has a rich academic, research and industry experience spanning more than 18 years. She is an accredited management teacher accredited by AIMA New Delhi and also guiding 8 PhD research scholars in the different disciplines of management. Dr. Sheelan, welcome to our Guiding Voice show again. Let's get into our conversation.
Thank you so much, Sudhakar, and thank you so much, Naveen, for such a wonderful introduction.
So, Dr. Sheelan, you have an illustrious academic background. Can we talk briefly about your career journey as well?
Yes, Sudhakar. So, my greetings to all the listeners of the podcast, and once again, thank you so much, Naveen and Sudhakar, for inviting me to the Guiding Voice and sharing my views. One thing which you can see from my profile is that my educational journey has always continued. After completing my PhD in the year 2007, I took a conscious decision of shifting my career to academics. And with 7 years of experience in industry and research and 13 years in academics today, I am leading as a head of Department of Management Studies at a prestigious New Horizon College of Engineering, Bangalore, Karnataka. Now, this wonderful mix of industry and academia has given me opportunities, skills, and strength to guide and mentor the leaders of the future. I am also a career management advisor and an entrepreneurship coach with a very keen interest in developing people in the areas of leadership, personal, and corporate branding. But yes, I love to work with students and young professionals, guiding them in various ways of life, like positive mindset, leadership capabilities, career management, and mental health.
So, Dr. Sheelan, how do we define the transformation skills?
Yes, Sudhakar, I think that is a very important question for us to know more about transformational skills. The faster pace at which world is moving has created a dynamic movement in everything around us. The technological advancements and highly competitive markets have created the necessity of more than ever before of a strategic approach which businesses and corporations have to rely on to develop those strategic solutions to identify industry needs for the long-term survival, sustainability, and success. Now, since industry is demanding and is also an imperative of the successful life, today's young professionals have to take the ownership of their future in a very strategic way too. So, what I want to say here is that professionals in every field must constantly equip themselves with the latest skills to achieve new solutions for the technical problems, but at the same time invest in their self-development, in their professional development, acquiring the skills needed for leading and creating an impact into the 21st century. So, coming to the transformational skills, these are those skills which will nurture a leader in you. These skills are the combination of technical and soft skills, and other than knowing your work well, it will include an array of empathy, learnability, compassion, open mindset, growth mindset, a positive mindset, an emotional intelligence, adaptability to changes, curiosity, capacity for creativity and innovation, the solution-oriented approach, the time management, agility, and not only that, also working with others, and growing with others. More than that, it's also about systemic thinking, where focus is on the big picture and not merely on the pixels. And also being authentic as a leader, having the clarity of purpose in life, being very effective in your communication, confidence, the leadership language, leading by role modeling, creating an inspiring influence, and ready to take a calculative risk with strong ethics and integrity. This is how we would define the transformation skills. Students and young professionals need to do a reality check on how they are faring in all these transformational skills.
Perfect. Thank you for that amazing definitions. So it is easy for us to relate to that definition, and the attributes that are called out are very comprehensive. Can you please share the importance of these transformation skills in today's world?
Now, these transformation skills are essential in the world today and ahead. If you take examples of companies like Facebook, Amazon, which has become far more extensive than anyone could have imagined, Boeing, GE, and many others are not struggling with technology strategies today. In fact, they are struggling with problems of strategy, ethics, culture, growth, and values. That is why these transformation skills need to be taken seriously. Now, people who are young professionals need to do a reality check on how they are faring on all these transformation skills. And the current students at graduate and postgraduate level would have to work on them as transferable skills, meaning which they learn and practice while in education and start implementing them in their workplace the moment they join. Industry requires such ready-to-work young leaders who can surprise them not only with the best innovative technical solutions, but also the people-oriented working style and knowing leading from front as well as leading with people. So I call upon all the students and young professionals through the medium of this podcast to understand these transformational skills and integrate them into their education as a part of a lifelong learning strategy. Working and embracing these skills are the reliable pathways enabling the professionals to thrive in the 21st century economy.
Beautiful insights, Dr. Sheelan. How does the academia and industry look at these transformation skills, and what is the importance that they assign to it?
That's a wonderful question. These skills are the important skills, and both, be it academia or industry, assign a high value to these transformation skills, because academia is committed to ensure that they train students on these skills. They expose them to these skills, they make them ready. Industry expects these young students and professionals to have those skills in them so that they are industry ready and they are ready to work from day one of their joining. And somewhere the training time and the training resources can be cut down upon. Also, the workplace in most industrial companies has been undergoing a rapid transformational, largely due to two factors, which are globalization and the business model revolution. In fact, in business model revolution, we have witnessed the kind of changes which are happening. And every time we see a new parameter which is adding to it. Now, globalization and the changes in the business model have been continuously evolving in form of product-based, service-based or aggregators-based. as you have seen in case of Ola, Uber, and Swiggy. Now, these new models require a new type of professional skill set. In the more skill-based solutions, companies group their corporate skills needs into two types. Hard skills, the job skills you need to do the job, like operating a drill. And the soft skills, which are the skills you are born with, like communication and collaboration. I can tell you that I have lived in this world for now almost 4 decades. And to be honest, this distinction between these two skills is getting in our way.
And why is that, Dr. Sheelan?
Why is it, Sudhakar? Because most people think hard skills are hard and soft skills are soft. But I would suggest the opposite is true. Hard skills are soft as they change all the time, are constantly being obsoleted, and are relatively easy to learn. But soft skills are hard since they are difficult to build, critical, and take extreme effort to obtain. So I would in fact rename soft skills to the power skills, because in reality, these are the skills that give you real power at work and transform you into an effective and a successful being, and hence the name transformational skills. In fact, here I would like to bring out a little about IBM's new research, which clearly points out that there is a need to take these transformational skills seriously. The skills of the future are not technical, they are behavioral. Yes, engineers, designers, technical people need to know how to build and fix things. But as IBM research points out, CEOs and business leaders are now realizing that they can buy these technical skills or even build them internally or even at a lower cost, relatively easily. But it is these transformational skills that take an effort. These skills are not soft. They are highly complex, they take years to learn, and are always changing in their scope. The number one skill that CEOs have asked for: willingness to be flexible, agile, and adaptable to change.
So, how can the students and young professionals build these transformational skills in them and ensure that they are up to date and keeping current and staying relevant?
Very relevant question, Sudhakar. In fact, I would like to quote from Alvin Toffler here. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. As more firms across the world adopting this new model of workforce deployment, all the professionals now face the challenge of adapting to this new economy that we are seeing emerging during the COVID scenario. These transformational skills are becoming the hallmark of the 21st century. So to be successful in the emerging economy, students would have to use their education time in the colleges and universities as a training ground. That should become a battlefield for them. Definitely, to learn all the conceptual knowledge needed to build the base, at the same time, practice them within their classrooms, their college activities, and also in their industry interaction. Students can also take up small duration internships and learn and practice these skills on the jobs. I'm sure that what I have just said about transformational skills will make a lot of sense to them in that case. So this has to be like a bucket list from them, and continuously assessing how are they faring in gaining these skills. Speaking about an engineering student or a postgraduate student, industry expects them to have strong fundamentals of their respective fields, and at the same time learning attitude towards all these transformational skills, which mean they have a hint of all these transformational skills in them, which can be further developed while working in the industry. So a practice has to put in place to gain these skills, which would be defining their success in future.
You quickly touched upon this COVID, and I think in the current world we can't have a conversation without talking more about the pandemic. So what is the importance of these transformation skills in the current COVID scenario?
As rightly said, Sudhakar, our conversations nowadays are not complete without talking about the COVID-19 pandemic. Yes, for most of us, COVID-19 is the biggest challenge of our lifetime. I never thought of that I would be going through something like this in my lifetime. So this has come as a big surprise and big challenge for all of us. So the profound impact it has had and will be having on individuals, organizations, society, and the economy we cannot underestimate it. In fact, COVID-19 has accelerated digital transformation across every industry as firms are investing heavily in remote working capabilities, ensuring that employees can work from home productively. Some kind of transformation which would have happened, let's say, 5 to 10 years ahead has happened now. So that has been the charisma of COVID-19 as well, with all the harmful effects which it is causing to society. But yes, that has been the charisma of COVID-19 pandemic. So with up to 30% of staff, which are estimated based on research statistics, these 30% of staff estimated to remain home-based post-crisis. So now there are a lot of questions which are getting raised around whether the investments in high-speed transport infrastructure can be justified, or if this money could be better invested in 5G or other high-speed digital networks. So a crisis like COVID-19 has changed the industry expectations. In fact, I should say is changing the industry expectations, not only for leaders, but for organizations as a whole. As all of us are aware that quarantine period has provided time for self-reflection, like, am I happy in this role? Am I fulfilled in my career? And most importantly, why am I here? Now, questions like these will make many professionals reassess their purpose within the organization. Effective organizations and smart professionals will be aware of this important cultural shift and take upon the growth opportunities for personal career development to keep answering the question of their purpose. So, thriving in the post-COVID-19 world, ensure that you have the right skills at the right time, in the right place, to constantly adapt to uncertain external trends, the agile operating models, and rapidly changing customer demands. In fact, I would like to mention here that to lead in the post-COVID-19 crisis tomorrow, put the right leadership and capabilities in place today. So, identify and elevate the business skills that matter the most. Need to manage in a transformational way. Though modern management is about safe and incremental change, but by adopting a transformational mindset, companies and individuals accomplish so much more than they think they can. Rather than aiming for a 5% improvement, shoot for a higher goal, shoot for a 20% to unlock energy and the performance gains. The modern company is much more complex than it was 20 years ago. So there is a greater need to do away with a rigid mindset and operate with an agile, empowered, self-able to get closer to success. And professionals able to navigate these will do better.
This is really awesome, and I'm personally getting goosebumps by listening to the answer. So very, very motivating explanation. And I would like to put you on a spot. Would you like to share your experience on transformational skills through any real-time or real-life situation that you have come across in your own professional life?
I knew that was coming. Yes, Naveen, so it has taken me almost 20 years to build this set of skills. And I want to say that I'm still learning them every day. Take the skill, ability to communicate effectively in a business context. I consider myself pretty good at this, and I would attribute it to my experience on the debate team in my high school, my teachers who spend a lot of time correcting my pronunciation, my dialogue deliveries in the plays and recitation competitions, my science degree in college, my years of work in sales and customer service, and my experience of working in marketing. I haven't taken any Toastmasters course for this, but most of this I learned on my own and through my work experience. And similarly, take the skill of capacity for innovation and creativity. That is again one big can of worms. Now, does this mean that you really need to come out with every time, every new skill, every new things? Or that you can think outside the box? Or that you can challenge authority and always try to make something better? So it covers all these things and includes one of the most interesting new corporate competency, which is curiosity. So all of us are aware, curiosity is a word which we often attribute to children, but has now drifted into the center of corporate thinking. Are your people curious about why customers don't buy your new offerings? Are they curious about how to make your offerings and products better? Do they have a growth mindset about curious ways they can become better? So this is the newest transformational skill in business. So I would like to simply put out that these transformational skills are the most important and hardest skills in business. I have learned in my own style In our times where not much systematic training was not available on all these skills. But today's generations are the blessed generations. They have all the resources to their disposal. They just have to learn the right usage of it. And you definitely need to work on your transformation skills because you need them for a big success, and developing them definitely takes a lifelong commitment. So from my experience, I would say that be committed to learn and it will happen to you.
Wow, simply amazing. I can relate to multiple thoughts. To start with, I concur on the curiosity quotient. This is a new term that has evolved in the corporate world. You also spoken about your experience in the school. I can relate to my own experience. It made me nostalgic because at any point in time during our school, if there is an elocution competition or essay writing competition, I used to raise my hand, and I would definitely attribute my success to my school principal. In fact, he has groomed us a lot, though we were in a tier 2 town and not so big school, but he has given us a very, very quality education, and because of which we are here. And thirdly, you spoke about the avenues and resources that are available for this generation. Yeah, I would envy on them, because definitely in case if people like me, you or Sudhakar would have had this kind of exposure, we would have been somewhere else.
For sure.
Just one thing I want to say here, Naveen. I definitely owe my success to my parents. The confidence given by my parents. And I'm sure that is true in most of our cases. And then the building of that confidence further in the school, has made us what we are today.
Absolutely. Can relate and share with your experiences. So thanks for bringing those things. The last and final question for today's interview. What are some of the tips that you would like to share with the students and young professionals to succeed in their careers?
Yes, very important question to Naveen. So upskilling and transformation skills are the need of the hour. If you have not thought about it, it is a time to do so. And if you were doing it slow, this is a time to speed up. And how can you do it? Definitely you need to know a formula for it, right? So we can start from that create the desire for the work. Means establish your purpose, have the clarity on purpose for the life. And then the second, which is about learn the necessary skills, which could be technical as well as transformational. And knowing these skills will definitely help you to develop a plan to learn the skills. But that should come with a goal that fixing the time frame to complete those learnings. And most importantly, visualize it. Visualize the success and it will be yours. And remember one thing in all this, that fortune favors the prepared. And a simple one more thing to remember is that if you only do what you can do, you will never be more than what you are right now. So if you have that vision for yourself after 5 years, then you definitely need to put in a lot more than what you're doing right now to reach that successful level of 5 years. In fact, here I would like to share something with all of you. All of us are aware of Michael Schumacher, the widely regarded greatest Formula 1 driver of all times. Now, in his career, he has almost most number of world championship titles, the most number of Grand Prix wins, the most number of fastest laps. You could call him the Sachin Tendulkar of racing. Now, which brings me to the fact that Tendulkar himself has been a long-time fan of Michael Schumacher. And when in 2002, Sachin got to meet Schumacher. Now, both being sportsmen, they have exchanged notes with each other, how that they work out to stay fit. So when Sachin came back, he was astounded with the amount of time that Schumacher devoted to just one part of his body, which is the neck. He exercises it for 1.5 hours. Can you believe it? Those were the thoughts of Sachin Tendulkar. And one of my own experience here, when once I was visiting Dubare Elephant Park in Karnataka and was walking nearby the river, and I spotted a group of elephants that was halted by a small rope tied to their front leg. And I was amazed by the fact that the huge elephants are not even making an attempt to break the rope and set themselves free. So I saw an elephant trainer standing beside them, and I expressed my puzzled state of mind. Do you know what trainer said? He said, when they are very young and much smaller, we use the same size rope to tie them, and at that age, it's enough to hold them. And as they grow up, they are conditioned to believe that they cannot break away. They believe the rope can still hold them. So they never try to break free. So the moral of this learning is, it is the false belief of the elephants that denied their freedom for lifetime. Likewise, many people are not trying to work towards success in their life just because they failed once before. So keep on trying and don't get tied up with some false beliefs of failure. In fact, failures are the stepping stones to great learnings which will lead you to success. And that is where the positive outlook helps you to sustain through these failures, and finally the success is yours. And finally, I would like to quote the lines of Maya Angelou, which is also my message to all the listeners. My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. Success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. So thank you so much, Naveen, and thank you so much, Sudhakar.
Thank you for wonderful conversation, Sheelan. It was indeed a great discussion on transformational skills for a successful career, which covered everything. And the icing on the cake is about that social conformity that you talked about. If you don't try something new, you will be stuck at where you are. And I think it was Nelson Mandela who said, it always looks impossible until it is done.
Beautifully said. I am wishing here all my listeners all the best.
Thank you, Sheelan, and appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Naveen.
Dear listeners, to know more about our speaker and the content, visit or follow us on social media. We are available on LinkedIn, Facebook, Insta, Twitter, Pinterest, and also on YouTube. Just search for The Guiding Voice and then follow, like, subscribe to us, and also share within your network. Also, please feel free to email us at The Guiding Voice for You, that is THEGUIDINGVOICE 4 as a digit, U as a letter, at gmail.com, or WhatsApp us on India number 9494587187. Again, it is India number 9494587187, and we will be happy to collaborate with you.
Alright, it brings us to the trivia segment of today's episode. And today's trivia is about video games. Most of the people, especially parents, curse about video games, that they are addictive and they are wasting time because kids get indulged and involved in those games in such a way that they don't care about the time. But there are many positive aspects of video games. We are going to talk about two of them in today's episode. Number one is, one of the advantages of playing video games is that surgeons who grew up playing video games make 37% fewer mistakes because they are very much focused, and playing a video game involves a lot of focus, so that enhances somebody's focus skills. And second one is, video games also pave way for new technologies. For example, talking about virtual reality, augmented reality, those are all certain concepts which were once seen in video games world. But now they are becoming the face of the technology and changing the entertainment world altogether. And I'm sure these technologies will find a lot of applications in the industry which will ease the lives of various operators and technical staff. Interesting, isn't it? Thank you for listening. There is more in store, folks. Stay tuned. Have a wonderful time. Take care. Be safe. Until next time, bye-bye.